In this video, I will try to present to you facts, or rather what the regulation says as it concerns BLSP case, and what I'm going to trying to put it to you that maybe BLSP might be coming out very soon to disclose their financials. So this is Cornell Law School site, and this is Electronic Code of Regulations, and we're looking at the regulation as it concerns suspension of duty to file reports under section 15D. So the section here, it says okay, this is I believe this is section, what is it, 17 or whatever it is. See, suspension of duty to file reports under section 15D, subject to paragraph C and D of this section. The duty under section 15D to file reports required by section 13A of the Act with respect to a class of securities specified in paragraphs B of this section shall be suspended for such class of securities immediately upon filing with the Commission a certification of Form 15. And if the issuer of such class has filed all reports required by section 13A without regard to section 12B25 for the shorter of its most recent 3 fiscal years and a portion of the current year preceding the date of filing Form 15. So BLSP has filed for Form 15. If not, it wouldn't have gone dark. So if Form 15 took it dark, so it satisfied that regulation for Form 15 requirements. And it says here, if the certification on Form 15 is subsequently withdrawn or denied, and in the case of BLSP, we know it has not been withdrawn or denied, the issuer shall within 60 days file with the Commission all reports which would have been required if such certification had not been filed. And then B says, the class of securities eligible for suspension provided in paragraph A of this section. I believe this is section 17, I believe. The class of securities are any class of securities other than any class of asset-backed securities held on record by fewer than 300 persons, or in the case of a bank, a savings and loan holding company. So BLSP is no longer held by fewer than 300 persons. Based on Ray of 808's count, it's now 609, and so we have to right now we have to thank Ray of 808, Pinko, and buy low, sell high. These are the amongst the many folks on stock tweets who have been digging out some of these links for us to digest, and doing the due diligence. They have attracted the army of folks in Italy and Belgium who have seen what's going on with BLSP and have come to disclose all of these to us. So moving on, they have the second subsection or subsection. It says fewer than 500 persons where the total assets of the issuer have not exceeded $10 million on the last day of the issuer's 3 most recent fiscal year. So we're not exactly clear about that. I believe it has $10 million. Okay. Well, if its market cap is about 300, what is the market cap of BLSP now? Its market cap is $12.2 million. It's not exactly, it wouldn't be the best metric. So let's ignore that. So any class of securities they registered, and it's okay. That does not pertain to BLSP. So moving down, it says here, if the suspension provided by this section is discontinued because the class of securities does not meet the eligibility criteria of paragraph B of this section, on the first day of an issuer's fiscal year, then the issuer shall resume periodic reporting pursuant to 15D of the Act by filing an annual report on Form 10K for its preceding fiscal year, no later than 120 days at the end of the fiscal year. So, some of these guys I mentioned, Pinko, buy low, sell high, Ray of 808, they have been able to determine that Blue Sphere's fiscal year starts on the 1st of July 2021. It starts on the 1st of July every year. So what does that mean? It means that as at the 30th of June, Blue Sphere would start, or rather from the 1st of July, Blue Sphere now has up to 120 days to come clean. I mean, not maybe clean is not exactly the best word, to disclose its Form 10K. Form 10K is the annual financial report, the annual financial report. So that will put it somewhere at least no later than the 31st of October 2021. So that is what technically this is what has to happen. Technically this is what Blue Sphere has to do. It has to, we're believing that they will observe this law. They will have to file this disclosure, and subsequently their restriction will be lifted. And we also know that there is this September 30th deadline. The SEC has. I'm not exactly very clear about what that September 30th deadline has. So fingers crossed. They all very much aligned. That's September 30th, October 31st. Just 1 month apart. But in any case, though, technically, Blue Sphere now has more than 300 shareholders, and as such it no longer meets this section 15D provisions, the provisions of section 15D, which is what it relied on to go dark. So as such, we expect them to come out. So moving on, we can see what's going on with the stock. We can see that the stock has been it's been consolidating, moving sideways, and the volume, the unbalanced volume indicator is bearish. The slope of the indicator is negative, and suggests that there is a lack of buying interest. Obviously, the majority of the shareholders can't really buy. The amount of volume the folks in Canada and elsewhere, Europe, the amount they're buying isn't enough to commence to shift this oscillator, and that is also the case with the momentum. The 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is below 20, the level which many analysts call oversold. This means that investors have been actively selling shares and driving the price lower. Indeed, people are still selling, even though the bulk of the army are not selling. So the momentum is strongly bearish. And it appears to be improving. This is based on its trend. It appears to be improving within a longer term uptrend, although it's presently below its 200-day moving average. That average is rising due to prior gains in Blue Sphere. Additionally, the MACD histogram, which is used to measure the near-term trend, is above zero. You won't believe it. This is the sort of signals you get when stocks are actively being traded. Actively being traded, bought, sold, in equal measure. But we don't have an equal measure of trades with Blue Sphere. But even at that, it's still maintaining a MACD histogram that is above zero and maybe not rising. It's indeed like in the S&P 500. So you will see the link to this Cornell Law regulation. It's called the Electronic Code of Federal Regulations. You see it in the description box below. Fingers crossed. Blue Sphere is pretty much going to come out. I want to believe, and also remember again that they regularized their incorporation with the state of Nevada. Maybe this is all in line. They noticed that they have met. They have no longer. They have the provisions of Section 15D does not, they can't rely on that anymore, and they went ahead and did all those things, and they have up to 120 days, to come out of to file this disclosure. Indeed, it could even be okay. Yes, they have 120 days after the end of the financial year, which we believe is the 30th of June. We have not gone to find out what that fiscal year, the end of that is. It's something we can easily do. So if you don't mind, we can just quickly do that, and where we will put everything to rest as much as we can. So let's see, company filings, BLSP. Yes, let's see, it's loading. Okay. Let's see whether we can find any 10K here. Form-10K. Open document. So let's see whether we can find any dates. Okay. So this is annual report under section 13 or 15D for the Securities Exchange of 1934. So let's see if we can find any date here. Let's see if you can find any date. I don't think the date it was filed will also be of it wouldn't be of it will not indicate anything as such. This is the 20th of July. Reporting date is the 30th of June. So okay, see that. So I want to believe reporting date is the 30th of June, and it was filed the 20th of August. So I think we are right. I think we are right. So the financial year ends on the 30th of June 2020. I mean 30th of June every year. So we are in line. We're in line. So the financial year. So 120 days after the 30th of June will fall somewhere by the end of October. Fingers crossed. Let's hope Blue Sphere comes out and we will get things going. Okay, sorry, that was the quarterly report. Sorry, that was a quarterly report. And I think a reporting date is let's see here, I think it is the 13th, okay, the 31st of, I think we might be right. Okay, we have a reporting date here. It says the 31st of December. Okay, 31st of December. That was when okay. So no, in any case, we'll see what's going to happen. Fingers crossed. What is certain is that they at least even if it's not going to be in October, it will at least be sometime soon. They have now that they can't rely on that provision anymore. We believe they can't rely on that anymore, and we'll see what's going to happen from there on. So thank you very much for watching this video.